So Ely was a very different kind of city. Ely's small. It's part of the Great White Basin area, which was home to about 10,000 different people. Most of them were in the little city of Ely, but Ely had some few outlying cities like Ruth or McGill that were home to a couple hundred. And so these little small towns were basically all built on mining businesses. And they were pretty old, and so you'd see a lot of age differences there. I actually would go up to McGill pretty often, one of my areas, and it was home to about 700 people, and like 60% of them were like 60 or older. And they were all old World War II vets, and they had been miners before the war, and all sorts of things like that, or they had experienced other wars, Vietnam and such like that. And so they were old ranching and mining communities. And that was what brought a lot of income into Ely. And so I had this small town feel, and historically it's just always kind of been a dot on the map that most people haven't really paid attention to. And that being said, it was probably one of my favorite areas because of what it offered. It was a smaller culture, it's away from the city, and so a lot of people were just more interested in their families and more interested in kind of making life work in their kind of small bubble than in stretching out across the world. And so we really thoroughly enjoyed that. Like I said, as far as the history, I just say the people have just been involved a lot in older American history, involved in things like the Gold Rush and different world wars we've had. And so the people themselves carry a pretty strong culture that's unique and different from a lot of other places we went to. I guess I would just say that Ely, the way it's built on, is it's built kind of right under the basin of mountains and in between these intertwining valleys and stuff. And so you do have a lot of fun places that you can kind of go to go see different hiking areas. It's pretty scenic. It's a beautiful area. I guess oddly enough, Ely is also home to a Supermax prison. So you just kind of drive off in the distance, and if you really wanted to, you could drive up to this huge prison that houses some of the nation's worst criminals. So actually a lot of people did prison work at Ely as well. So that was always kind of interesting. But other than that, it really wasn't much of a touristy place. It was just kind of home to local folks who've been there for generations. So.